My brothers and sisters, as the sun sets on the last day of Ramadan, many hearts feel relief. Relief that the fasting is over. Relief that the long nights have ended. Relief that Eid has arrived. But let me ask you something honestly. What if the most dangerous moment of your entire Ramadan is the night before Eid? What if everything you built for 30 days can begin to collapse in just one night? Because this night is not just a transition, it is a test. A test of whether Ramadan changed you or whether you were only temporarily disciplined. Eid is not the end. Eid is the evidence. And tonight is where that evidence begins. Tonight is not an ordinary night. This is not just the night before a celebration. This is not just the end of a month. This is not just the closing of a routine you followed for 30 days. This is the night where your Ramadan is being sealed. Everything you did over the past month, every fast, every prayer, every tear, every moment of restraint, every time you chose Allah over your desires, it is all being presented. And now comes a question that no one around you can answer. Was it accepted? You see, many people misunderstand Ramadan. They think the goal is to complete it, to reach the end, to tick the boxes, to say, I fasted all 30 days, I prayed, I did my part. But the righteous never thought like this. They did not celebrate completion. They worried about acceptance, because starting is easy, even finishing is possible. But being accepted, that is something only Allah controls. And that is why, as Ramadan would come to an end, their hearts would become heavier, not lighter. They would begin to question themselves deeply, not with pride, but with humility, not with confidence, but with concern. Because they understood something we often forget. Allah does not look at the quantity alone. He looks at the sincerity. He looks at the al behind the action. He looks at whether you were present or just performing. So tonight, instead of becoming distracted, instead of rushing into shopping, gatherings, messages, laughter and noise without any reflection, pause, slow down, sit with yourself, even if just for a few minutes. Because this moment, this quiet moment, could be more valuable than many hours of distraction. Ask yourself honestly, what did Ramadan do to me? Not what did I do in Ramadan, but what did Ramadan do to me? Did it change how I think? Did it change how I speak? Did it change how I see Allah? Did it change how I see my sins? Or did I simply adjust my schedule for 30 days and now I am ready to return to exactly who I was before? Because if nothing inside you changed, then Ramadan has not done what it was meant to do. And this is a hard truth, but it is a necessary one. Ramadan was not sent to exhaust you. It was sent to transform you. It was sent to soften your heart. It was sent to break your attachment to this dunya. It was sent to reconnect you with Allah in a way that stays, not disappears. So ask yourself, when I stood in prayer, was I present or was I waiting for it to end? When I made dua, did I feel it or was I just repeating words? When I avoided sin, was it because I feared Allah or because it was Ramadan and everyone else was doing the same? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary questions because accountability begins with honesty. And tonight is a night of accountability. My brothers and sisters, do not misunderstand this moment. This is not about making you feel hopeless. This is not about making you feel like everything is lost. No. This is about waking you up before it is too late. Because as long as you are aware, you can still turn back to Allah. As long as your heart is still questioning, it means there is still life in it. So if you look at yourself and you feel like you fell short, then turn to Allah tonight. Speak to Him, not with perfect words, but with a sincere heart. Admit your weaknesses, admit your distractions, admit that you could have done better. Because Allah does not expect perfection. He expects sincerity. And sometimes one moment of real sincerity is more powerful than an entire month of routine. So do not let this night pass like any other night. Do not allow yourself to enter Eid without reflection. Because Eid is not just a celebration. It is a moment that reflects what came before it. If your Ramadan was meaningful, your Eid will feel different. If your Ramadan was empty, your Eid will feel empty too, even if everything around you looks joyful. that emptiness, that feeling that something is missing, that is the heart telling you that it needed more. So listen to it. Do not silence it with distractions. Do not cover it with noise, because this might be the one moment where your heart is speaking honestly to you. And if you respond to it now, if you take this night seriously, if you turn to Allah with sincerity, then this night could become the most valuable night of your entire Ramadan. Because sometimes the end is where everything is decided. So my brothers and sisters, before you sleep tonight, before you step into Eid, take a moment, be honest, be sincere, and ask Allah for acceptance. Because in the end, nothing matters more than that. My brothers and sisters, Eid arrives with joy. Homes are filled with laughter. People greet one another. Messages are sent. Smiles are shared. The atmosphere feels light, uplifting, and full of happiness. And there is nothing wrong with that. Eid is a gift from Allah. It is a day of celebration. But there is a reality behind this day that many people do not stop to think about. Eid is not a reward for everyone. Yes, everyone experiences the day. Everyone wears new clothes. Everyone eats, gathers, and celebrates. But not everyone receives the reward behind it. Because the true reward of Eid is not the food, not the clothing, not the gatherings. The true reward of Eid is acceptance. And acceptance is not something you can see. It is not something people can congratulate you for. It is something that exists between you and Allah alone. You see, many people assume that because they completed Ramadan, they have succeeded. They think, I fasted, I prayed, I stayed away from food and drink, so now Eid is my reward. But listen carefully, completion is not success. Acceptance is success. There were people before us from the righteous who would complete Ramadan, and instead of celebrating immediately, they would cry. Not because they were sad that Ramadan ended, but because they were afraid that their efforts were not accepted, afraid that they stood, fasted and worshipped, but it did not reach Allah in the way they hoped. And this fear was not weakness, it was awareness. They understood who Allah is. They understood the weight of ibadat. They understood that even a small naqs in sincerity can affect the outcome. So while we prepare for Eid with excitement, they prepared for Eid with reflection. They asked themselves, did I truly fast or did I just stay hungry? Did I truly pray or did I just move my body? Did I truly remember Allah or did I just repeat words? Because ibadat without presence can become habits, and habits without sincerity can become empty. My brothers and sisters, do not misunderstand this. This is not meant to remove your joy. Islam does not teach us to be miserable. Eid is a day of happiness, but it is a happiness that comes from something deeper. A happiness that comes from knowing, or at least hoping, that Allah accepted your efforts. And that kind of happiness is different. It is not loud. It is not shallow. It is calm. It is grateful. It is humble, because you know that you did not earn it on your own. You know that it was Allah who allowed you to fast, Allah who gave you strength, Allah who guided you, Allah who covered your shortcomings. So your joy becomes mixed with humility, your smile becomes mixed with gratitude, your celebration becomes mixed with awareness. But the problem today is that many people separate Eid from Ramadan. They treat it as something completely different, as if Ramadan was ibadat and Eid is just enjoyment, as if one has nothing to do with the other. And that is where the danger lies. Because when Eid is disconnected from Ramadan, it loses its meaning. It becomes just another day. And the heart does not feel anything beyond surface level happiness. So ask yourself honestly, what does Eid mean to me? Is it just a day to eat, dress up and meet people? Or is it a day where I feel something deeper inside? Do I feel grateful? Do I feel relieved? Do I feel hopeful that Allah accepted me? Or do I feel nothing beyond the excitement of the moment? Because that feeling is an indicator. It tells you something about your Ramadan. My brothers and sisters, imagine two people standing on Eid morning, both wearing nice clothes, both smiling, both surrounded by family. From the outside, they look exactly the same. But inside, they are completely different. One of them feels peace, a quiet sense of relief. a hope that Allah has forgiven them, a feeling that something inside them has changed. The other feels temporary happiness, but no depth, no connection, no reflection, just a passing moment. And this difference is not visible to people, but it is known to Allah, and it is felt in the heart. So do not be deceived by appearances. Do not measure success by how your Eid looks. Measure it by how your heart feels. And if you feel that something is missing, if you feel that your Ramadan was not what it should have been, then do not ignore that feeling, because that awareness is a gift. It means your heart is still alive. It means you still care. And as long as you care, you can still turn back to Allah, even on Eid, even after Ramadan. Because Allah is not limited to a month. His mercy is not limited to a time. So if you feel regret, turn that regret into